Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this live catch-up here for your Friday evening, the gateway to the weekend. It is, of course, Nickalini Orange with you here. You will see the face behind the voice very, very shortly here. Welcome to Touring With Us. Just warming you up, we really are. Just over 30 seconds until, of course, the mic opens once more. As it fades nicely there, very, very warm welcome to the channel of Touring With Us. I was recently on the Facebook earlier, and I hope I have a professional sounding voice because I'm using a professional sounding microphone. But yeah, I will actually start with a sort of Living God's Love prayer here. So let's begin right now. Are we ready to go? Let's go. Right, okay, living God, draw us deeper into your love. Jesus, our Lord, send us to care and serve. Holy Spirit, make us heralds of good news. Stir us, strengthen us, and teach us to inspire us to live your love with generosity and joy, imagination and courage for the sake of your world and in the name of Jesus. Amen. Absolutely. So, yeah, we should crack on very, very quickly here. That's our prayers done and dusted. And, of course, we leave that in the dust locker here. It is, of course, 35 minutes past 9 p.m. if you're watching live. If you're watching on replay, it'd be a totally different time here. So, of course, I want to say a massive welcome to everyone here. Thank you very much for the thumbs up here. It really, really means a lot to us here. And, of course, yes, as more people are getting more interested in the channel as I speak here, because I'm sounding very much like a professional DJ, if you want to put it that way. Well, I've had experience on radio presenting, I have to say. Anyway, that's my posh voice over and done with. And of course we can worry about these kind of things a little bit later on, and I'll be talking about what this little thing is that you need to know here on the catch-up. And I'll be talking about all kinds of things regarding Touring With Us. So, yeah, this is an unplanned show. So, of course, if I do stumble from time to time, I do apologise. If you do want to have a chat on the chat, which is the chat line right now, it's open and free to use. Go ahead and say hi in the chat. Even if you're one of those mods out there, come and say hello. So, yeah, even if one mod's not here, another one will be here somewhere along the lines. So, yeah, we're interested to hear from the audience what they are thinking about, of course, some of the questions that we've put on the community section of the YouTube channel here. And I would like to say thank you very much, all of you that have had a go, for those people that have had a go at the poll on the community section on the YouTube channel. So, yeah, so far, of course, it had been going up and down since I last spoke, but, of course, I would like to stress that, well, it's not stressing, actually, because it's actually a kind of good feeling. 537 subscribers so far. Let's see if we can push one extra one towards the end of the stream, hopefully tonight. But, of course, we'll see. If it doesn't, of course, it will be on the next show. And don't forget, you can support the channel in a great way as well, to help us keep going, like, of course, some people have done in the past. So, of course, that way, so far, you can only do it by PayPal, and you can do it in person when I'm off screen. You can, if you wish to do so. Just those few pennies count to an extra sort of entertainment that, of course, you get nowhere else, basically. And, of course, yes, you got the GoFundMe. Of course, you've got the... What's the other one? I was just trying to think of it on the top of my head. Of course, it's PayPal. Yeah, just trying to think of it off the top of my head there. So, yeah, of course, I'm watching myself live. How extraordinary is that? So, if anybody actually does want to say hi in the chat, feel free to do so. I encourage that right now. I'm going to say my first letters hi to you all, so you know that the chat is all there. Just the word hi. So, there you go. There you go. We are the show that hopefully never ever ends. We have to wait and see. You know, because you never know when, of course, things do come to an end, which is kind of like, well, it can be off-putting to some sort of presenters, and of course, we try to continue the best as we can, present as best we can. We try to get the words out as best as we can. We try to entertain as best as we can. So if you have any suggestions in the comments, feel free to let us know your suggestions. We're here, and we're open to everyone here, and you know, we don't leave nobody out. We have everybody's opinion. Well, it's kind of like the free speech kind of thing, without turning it into kind of politics, which we don't do here very often on this channel at all whatsoever. If you want that, go to BBC and the GB News. But there you go. Just leave it at that for now. But I would like to thank everybody for being a lifelong, of course, supporter, if you like, subscriber for the channel. And, of course, they have been for a long time since lockdown, you know, some of them. But some of them haven't really come back to us that we used to have, and we do miss them really, really badly. And, of course, sometimes some people have other things to do, they've moved on, and, of course, they have Wi-Fi issues sometimes. So, yeah. That can be the issue as well. So, of course, I'd like to tell you the latest update as far as the community section of the Touring With Us on the YouTube. There's a community section where we ask people to vote, of course, on their own view on what they would like to see more on the channel. Feel free to vote anytime at our votes whatsoever. Of course, if you do see the vote, you need to probably be a subscriber to the channel. Excuse me. And of course, yes, that's my cod that goes in the wrong throat, or something that gets stuck. But yeah, more B&B videos. 22% of you said that. More travelodge videos, only 11%, and more live coverage of seaside or inland, of course, 11%. Well, of course, the most popular so far, of course, skipping the more Premier Inn videos. Well, actually, we do have a Premier Inn video to come up there, and nobody has wanting us to do it. But, of course, it's always different with Premier Inn. It's not always the same place. It's different. Some are basically, you know, giving you a sea view rather than just a car park view, for example. And, of course, Starbucks next to it, for example. And we all know where that probably Premier Inn is. But I'm told that Premier Inn actually is based somewhere, well, their head office is based somewhere on the outskirts of London, because I was actually speaking to someone to amend a booking on that note. And, of course, I was telling them about Touring With Us, and they actually said, I think it was the lady on the phone that amended the booking, because, of course, apparently I put it to a different date rather than the dates that I decided to choose. And, of course, she said, good luck to your subscribers, and hopefully you get a lot of subscribers. That is because we mentioned Touring With Us that we wanted to showcase your hotels, or their hotels, actually. But, yeah, we don't have any fans here that own hotels, do we? I don't think so. But, of course, yeah, that's another thing altogether. So 56% of you say towns and cities and day trips. Well, of course, that could be an interesting one. A lot of people don't want us to do seaside reviews for whatever reason. But, of course, it is the public's opinion, and thank you so much for everyone that's had a go at the poll. Even if you're not coming in tonight, we do appreciate that. Even if you're watching tonight, we appreciate that as well. So, yeah, but it would be even better if somebody would come and say hello and, don't be shy and come on the chat and say hello tonight and, come and, surprise me, if you like, on that note. We will go to a musical commercial. The reason why we do that is to give my mouth a little bit of a rest and, of course, obviously, your ear a little bit of a rest so you can relax to some music for, say, 2 minutes or so. But please don't go away. We do return after that, of course, song has finished, more or less. So we will go to a musical commercial, not an actual advert that you'll see anywhere else. But yeah, who here? Give us a shout here. Actually, do something for the chat here if you can. Come and say on the chat if you are actually going to watch the Coronation. Not Coronation Street, by the way. A lot of people, well, maybe you won't get confused with that, but of course, I think most people won't. But of course, I just thought that right now, that somebody might get confused with Coronation Street and Coronation, just a coronation. And of course, it starts all tomorrow. Apparently, of course, all the channels are going to be doing it. I believe that GBN News is going to do it as well. All of them are going to do it for basically just because they want to show the Queen to the world. The Queen, oh, what am I talking about? It's the King, isn't it? You know, we're getting so used to the Queen, and I can imagine a lot of people did like the Queen as well. That is probably why people do make the mistake by saying the Queen, Her Majesty. But of course, it's now His Majesty, which is what we call it these days, because it is now the King. We've got to now get used to that for a little bit anyway. But yeah, I think I should be watching it. It's apparently starting at 11 o'clock, and then of course you've got the airplanes and all that kind of thing around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I believe it's a football day as well. But we won't forget about that, or some people will forget about the football, but of course that's another thing altogether. I'll be talking about some of the fixtures as well if you want to stay on for that as well. Hopefully I won't bore you to death with it, but of course, I know it's not a great season for Southampton fans here, being a lifelong Southampton fan myself, but of course, like I say, it's not been a great season for us at all. I can only see us getting relegated this year, but of course, there is enough points on the table to stay up, but of course, it's highly unlikely. But anyway, let's move on and forget about football for 1 second at least. That's the scenario on that, which is kind of like disappointing. But of course, yes, if anybody has any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask us any questions that you have seen, what you have liked on the channel as well. What have you liked about it, of course. What video has been your favourite? Tell us in the comments what has been your favourite video of all time on the channel. Has there been one? I don't know. Did you like the fair one? Do you like us to do more fair stuff? I don't know. Is that fair to you? Is that fair? That's a joke you probably won't get anywhere else. But anyway, I would like to say hello to, if that person is watching, Ice Cream and Flake. Does that sound familiar to anyone? But yeah, Ice Cream and Flake, and I would say the other one has got to be, let me think of it, Sweet Corn or something like that. But yeah, I can't remember. There's so many names there, I'll get confused with all of them. But of course, I think that person may know who they are. But yeah, it is 47 minutes past 9 p.m. If you don't believe me, if you're watching live, I do check out your watches there. And check out your calendars if you don't believe me also. It's Friday the 5th of the 5th, otherwise known as May 2023. Hello and a very, very good evening to you all. So, yeah, we're going to go to a sort of like a musical break in a minute, so please hang on with us. We're going to be here. I keep looking that way because I thought the clock was over there. But, yeah, we're going to hang on to about 10 tonight, so we won't be on too late tonight because some people will be wanting to go to bed early. I don't know why, but, yeah, some people have got places to go, people to see, that kind of thing. But hopefully, we'll have a great weekend of better weather. Well, we'll see if the weather holds out, in a sunshine way rather than what it has been doing today. As I said previously on the first live today, which I did for half an hour or so on Facebook page. And, of course, we had Nick Dean and Ian tuned in on that. So, yes, I don't know if they're tuned in right now on here. But, of course, we do appreciate everyone tuning in wherever you are tuning in right now. It really means a lot to us. So if you can spread the word about touring with us, because I know there's a lot of people that have recently subscribed to us, including, of course, a guy called Luke that runs or works with the Stocks Fair, which was recently at the recreation ground in Haverhill. That was a massive event. And, of course, yes, I was walking around with my camera there, getting 4 donuts on each night. But, yeah, 4 donuts for £5, you cannot grumble with that, can you? At places like that. So, of course, where else can you get, of course, inland donuts that quality? With, like when they wrap it around the sugar and all that kind of thing. It's just so wonderful, to taste. And I know it's not healthy for you, but of course, that kind of thing is quite nice. To feel that seaside sort of feeling inland rather than actually going to the seaside. Although I do like going to the seaside. The channel those people that have voted for, of course, what they want us to do, they're basically telling us not to go to seaside resorts. That's what they're basically telling us, according to the figures on there. I'll just remind you, for those people just switching on right now, somebody by the name of Mangattan keeps coming up. I don't know if it's a spam or not, but keeps coming up with the same letters there. I like that town or something like that. I don't know why that keeps coming up repeatedly a lot. I don't know if it's a spammer or not. So, yeah, I do delete some of them because, of course, some of them keep on spamming each time. It says a great town. Yeah, we know, of course, that town that the commenter is commentating on. Matt Gen 2000. Of course, come on the chat and come and say who you are, because we really want to know. Apparently it says a great town. He's referring to Saffron Walden. We know it's a great town. And nobody's actually requested for us to go there. But, of course, maybe one day they can. Of course, that would be great. That would be great. So, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. It's time now to go to a short little commercial where we will be right back. Absolutely brilliant there. Welcome back, of course, my friends, to the hopefully show that never ends. And, of course, it is Nickalini Orange with you, hopefully giving you some sort of entertainment wherever you are listening across the entire world. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It really means a lot. If you are that one viewer, that means a million to us. I know people prefer to watch us live, which of course we did yesterday for about an hour before it started chucking it down. But we managed to get to the coffee shop, the Grounds Coffee in Abbey Gardens, just in time before it closed at around about 5 p.m. But of course, the lady, of course, kindly told us what the opening times are, and of course you can rewind that, of course, live stream at any time and look at it if you are not sure. It's very useful for that community aspect. So yes, welcome to the show that hopefully never ends. As I normally say, it is Nickalini Orange, which is a current stage name of 2023. And of course, it is 4 minutes to 10 p.m. If you don't believe me, check all your watches out there. The gateway to the weekend here, and of course, the Friday edition of Catch Up Show with, of course, Nickalini Orange. Yes, I haven't got an orange with me, so I can't actually show you that right now. But what I can actually show you is my empty, cold cup of coffee, which was actually Kenko from the Premier Inn. But of course, yes, welcome if you are a new viewer to the channel here, and we do appreciate people watching all over the globe, wherever you are watching. Unfortunately, we're not able to share the stream everywhere possible, but of course, we try to really share this show quite on a wide base so that people are aware of us. That is the thing. And 14 views so far. Of course, it can change. Of the Touring With Us theme, of course, Weather the Storm is the actual track, and I'll tell you a little bit more information about that. Of course, if you cannot read properly or something like that, the video was actually taken from a bedroom window in Hayville, Suffolk on Friday the 5th of May 2023 on a brief storm which happened a day earlier on this note. And of course, that's the date I am doing this live tonight. In Hayville, recorded around about the time of 5:35 p.m. UK time. And the music is by Teddy J, taken from the original track, which was actually called Method Simple, which of course was produced in 2015, courtesy of Music 2000. Of course, remember that where you heard it. Of course, there is about 4 minutes long of the actual video, and 14 views so far. 2 thumbs up, which is not bad. Of course, yeah, we haven't received any thumbs down yet. But, of course, yes, I think people are too scared to do that these days. But, yeah, another Touring With Us theme. I think the popular one so far is Come By a Place, which actually is, I will tell you on the description if you can't read it, because it is in small print. Of course, a video filmed on the train, left window, which was, of course, the train from Ipswich to Cambridge, and I got on at Besnevens, for example, and it was filmed on the left window on a sunshine afternoon, because it was sunny yesterday, between Dallingham and Cambridge. And some of the video was Abbey Gardens near the Grounds Coffee place on Thursday the 4th of May 2023, and some videos filmed by Ice Cream and Flake if you are watching. And of course, yes, I don't want to embarrass you any more than I am now, but of course, yes, that was who it was filmed by. And of course, the actual track itself, because I need to edit that slightly, was actually produced by Teddy J in 2015, courtesy of Music 2000, from the original track called Come By Dance, which is a tune, and of course anyone can use it, of course, by well, it's by nobody, and nobody wrote it. And of course, if it's a nobody wrote song, anyone can use it basically. And of course, yeah, that is anyone that can arrange a sort of anonymous wrote tune. And if you've done an arrangement on it, just to be definitely 100% sure that anyone can use it and, of course, sell it as a CD. So the original tune of Kumbaya, if you remember, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. So yeah, so that's how it goes. So yeah, that is the actual original tune of that. Okay, so that's where the Touring With Us theme comes from. And the other one here, which is the Touring With Us theme once more, In Between the Sticks. It's actually a tune that I produced myself on the ProLogic game of the Apple Mac, because I went on a course, and of course, I used a MIDI keyboard, and of course use some of the ProLogic kind of samples in that. So yeah, there's some inklings of the samples from ProLogic, which is a music-based generator, and very similar to Music 2000 on the PlayStation. And of course, yeah, both do creative music. You'll be so fascinated if you want to be a music creator. Try it, because it's definitely worth it. The Music 2000 is definitely something you might want to be interested in, even if, of course, you think PlayStation 2, for example, because it's a PlayStation 1 game, it will work in a PlayStation 2 console. That means, of course, you will get a creative kind of sound as well, because it's an upgraded one to the PlayStation 1. So, yeah, on that note, it's definitely worth going back in time and producing some creative music, which, of course, you know, it's very tricky to actually get a really perfect song these days. It was so simple back then when it was a PlayStation 1 game, and of course all you got to do is use those blocks. You've got to do that in ProLogic as well, but it's more the advanced version. Obviously the ProLogic is going to be a lot advanced and a lot better, but of course you can still create great dance music that people will dance to using Music 2000. And it started by Music 1999. That's what I started off. Then Music 2000 took over, and of course PlayStation. I believe it's a PlayStation 2 game. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I think it's a PlayStation 1 game. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, probably is a PlayStation 1 game, and it did work in the PlayStation 2, which made it a little bit better and easy to work out. But yeah, it takes time to edit and get the song right, obviously. But of course, it's the most simplest one that I've ever used is Music 2000. So of course, we can only thank them for a great creative product of that. As long as you mention them, and then of course, you know, you're well on your way to making successful dance music, or even pop music, or even drum and bass. That kind of thing, whatever tickles your fancy, even rock and roll as well. And apparently, if you know how to do a jazz beat, then of course jazz is on the agenda as well, which is creative, which is fantastic, isn't it? So yeah, so you can't go wrong than that. So yeah, that's the creations, and I was just telling you a little bit of information about how I produced dance music myself, and of course I've done producing of dance music on a keyboard as well. That's again more advanced. I'll talk about that on another occasion, on a separate show, so that you can actually sort of understand it. You know, understand the sort of way the music is sort of created, if you like. Hopefully, I'm making a lot of sense, by the way. Do tell me if I'm not, because, if you don't understand anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Don't stop to think, oh, I can't answer that question because I don't know what to say. Please don't be shy. Put the question up. And, of course, if you have any questions about any of my dance music that I have produced, feel free to use the chat. It's free of charge, doesn't cost you a penny, and come and say hello to us. Also on the channel is the Funfair Rides and Donuts highlights. And of course, I actually went live to a hotel in Premier Inn in Bedford Evans recently. It's got apparently now 100 views on it. That's got the most views on it, and people don't want me to go there for some reason. Of course, it brings up the views. People see it. That's the thing. Whether they like it or not is a question of a different type altogether. And, of course, I went live from a hotel as well. The summarization of a live there went recently as well. It's now public. It should be public. The summarization was live, and the room hotel of 104 exclusive, and that's where I talk about. Oh, it's gone. Has it crashed? Am I still on there? I don't know, but of course. We got that. Okay. Let's have a look. Media source. No, it's not that one. Video capture. We're back on. So, I do apologise about that. We went off air for a second there. And, we've got excellent connection now, which is great. We're using fibre octave, which is not gigabyte. But anyway, so also I went live at the fair. Something else to mention as well, which only has 34 views. Please do, let's get it in the right perspective here. Please do, sorry about my words there, go and see it. The NAR show, of course, were there. Of course, the guy that actually performs on the electric organ was actually at St Mary's Church of Haverhill for the very first recital, as in the organ recital, electric organ player, but of course he also plays the pipe organ, and he performed some beautiful tunes for at least 35 minutes to 45 minutes, back-to-back tunes. Of course, the live stream went on for 40 minutes, but of course the tunes were a lot less. So, that was, of course, recorded live from, which was actually live at the time, at St Mary's Church of Haverhill. Now, they do a lot of great stuff. They have the cafe church, they have quite a lot of services, Sundays and during the week, and they've got a food meal thing. Now, of course, if you're interested, then, of course, this might be of use to you. I'm putting it up on the screen here. Free meals for families here. Anyone is welcome, okay? Must make that absolutely clear. Anyone is welcome to turn up at about 5 o'clock. It says 4 p.m. for kids, for activities and refreshments, and food served after, which is about 5 o'clock. They've got a local chef. Actually he's not local, but of course he does come from a different area, but of course they've got a chef, which is not local, but of course it feels like it's local. But of course a family cafe kind of thing that will serve you meals. For example, they had chicken today, because I did see it on the Haverhill local news, which apparently you've got to have your post reviewed before it goes out on that page now. So it's got to be pretty much about Haverhill or nothing, or they won't approve you of anything. I think that's a bit sort of sad that they changed that, but anyway, that's another thing altogether. I know we do that on our groups, and I know it stops spamming, but of course, I was so used to that group showing the show to everyone, but of course now they won't do it anymore for some reason. I don't know why. The previous owner of the group, or the admin, if you like, is no longer with us, sadly, and he used to approve my posts. I used to love them all the time, and used to say nothing at all whatsoever. And now that they sort of changed it to the different direction, I don't know why that was, but anyway, so that's that. That's what goes on at the Haverhill St Mary's, and they do have, of course, the odd recitals, pianists playing, and various concerts. And do check that out if you ever come to Haverhill, Suffolk. Do check that out, and of course you'll see the notices on the porch door. And of course they are two doors. There are two doors, and of course it'll be on the gate doors, not the main door. So yeah, because the gates normally are closed, and that's where they put the posters on. And of course you'll be able to see it on the other side of the church as well, where they advertise. Also, they've got a community hall as well. And, of course, they have free food in the porch as well from time to time. So, of course, when they open the gates, you might see it in the porch somewhere. And, of course, it may not be advertised always, but, of course, do pop in there if you're in need of any food. And I think it's a great way to go down the town, and it's not too far away. Everybody knows the church quite well and knows the actual town quite well. And it's just easy to get to. And, of course, yeah, it's definitely worth popping in there if you are struggling for food. And I don't think they do drink as such, like free alcohol. Nobody gives away free alcohol, do they? Or any type of drink. But, yeah, perhaps they can't do it for legal reasons. But, anyway, mainly it's food at the porch of St Mary's Church of Haverhill. Hopefully you got all that, by the way. So, yeah, how has everyone been doing? It's been really, really fascinating to do this show tonight, even if it's just a low amount of viewers. I hope that people do see on replay and do check in from time to time, like a hotel where they check in. Now, of course, let's go and talk about this little thing here. And this little thing, if I bring it closer to the camera, you'll be able to see it a little bit more. Although, of course, the camera does actually do it justice at the moment, does it? It blurs it out a little bit. But basically what it is collect 10 stamps to redeem your free coffee. I believe it's a tea as well. So if you want a free coffee or tea at Subway, you've got to have about at least 10 of them, so that you can actually say YAY, which basically means yay, that you've completed it all. I've got another one of these, of course. I got these at the Cambridge train station Subway when it pretty much was the grand opening. Now, they have been opened for quite some time now, and I went to the grand opening there, and a few weeks before that, you can check on the channel when it was pretty much opening, and I think it might have been the first day it was opened, or maybe a couple of days after. And of course, basically, the guy that does the NAR show, which is Nice and Relaxing Show, Giuliani, which is now called, and not Julia, Giuliani or whatever it is. I can't remember the previous name. Giuliano, I think it was, yeah. So it's now Giuliani, and of course, yeah, he did some drumming sticks on just to make everyone laugh here, and tapping sticks on the coffee mugs there, or the coffee cartons there that they have. Yep, and one thing to note currently to this day here, hopefully they don't change it by the time I tell you this, they do have the small milk cartons. If you notice those kind of small milk cartons, they come from, of course, I think it's Lakeland or something like that, and of course apparently you can buy a box of them on Amazon as well if you really fancy getting those small carton milks. preferably for the hotels and those kind of businesses. But of course, just imagine having those in your own home. That'll save you buying a big bottle of milk, I would say, on that. And yeah, it's been interesting there. On that note, yes. People will say on that note, but like I say, do check out the subway of the Cambridge train station if you've not yet been. It's just literally next to the train station, and we have showcased this on videos. I'm quite sure of that when we did a special video going down Station Road, which is where the buses are and can be seen with rail replacement buses as well. And I've even seen a BBC bus as well. And I wonder what that was all about. I don't know. But, of course, yeah, I've even seen the police down there as well. But, yeah, they're making sure everything's running smoothly down there. And people not trespassing the tracks, which, of course, we don't recommend at any time. But anyway, I've actually got a record. I don't know how many people actually keep records of their train, what they call choo-choo tickets here. And you can see... I've been to Thetford here, of course, costing me about £10, 75 a return. I recently been to Bury St Edmunds, but of course I've got that in my wallet somewhere. I've got to find my wallet. Don't say I've lost it. I haven't actually, because I haven't been out today. But yeah, Cambridge to Newmarket I got there, £5.45. That was in 2022. Obviously, things have changed. It's fascinating to see how many things have actually changed over the years, which has been really, really fascinating. And, of course, with these kind of, rail tickets, they're bound to go up from time to time. So nothing stays the same forever, unfortunately. Some people think that we should stay the same forever and everybody should get equal pay, which of course some people agree to that and some people don't agree to that, and I'm not going to go into depth with that. But what I would say is that of course we do know that prices do change, and of course Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge, of course this was the recent one, of course April the 30th, and I would have been coming back on the 29th of May, so I could have come back at any time during that month. It's a month return, and £11.45 it cost me on a cheap rate. And of course, yes, that would have been from Cambridge to Bury St Edmunds, by the way, and of course a return from Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge. And the Thetford one, of course, return in one journey. Of course, that would have been on the 21st of April 2023. Thetford, Cambridge, £10.75. Of course, the one coming from Cambridge to Thetford first of all, and then of course a return back to Cambridge, and then Ely to Cambridge, of course, 19th of February 2023, and of course, yes, it was a return for £2.30 on a discounted card there. So these discounted rates are very, very good. I won't say which one it is because it's obviously private information that I do not wish to give out at any time. I think nobody else wants to give it away at that time as well. So, yeah, Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge, of course, yes. This will be fascinating here. And this is what the price has now gone up to in terms of trains here. If you're coming from Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge, on one single here on a discounted rate, okay, listen to this very carefully. This is on the 2nd of March 2023. Since then, it has now gone up. Right, okay, I'd love to show you, of course, where it has gone up to, and I'll try and show you that when I go to a commercial break in just a moment, and of course, I'll be able to reveal all that before we leave. But until then, of course, I will tell you the price now. Bury St Edmunds to Cambridge on the 2nd of March 2023, £7.95. We'll find out what it went up to, of course, after this commercial little musical break for about 2 minutes or so. So please do join us. Don't go away. And, of course, come back as soon as you've heard this track. Love is definitely kind here. Those kind of lyrics are very, very nice, and of course the samples sound very much like the GBN News theme, doesn't it? Maybe they've done a sample of it as well. I don't know, but yeah, anyway, it's 26 minutes past 10 p.m. Hello to you, a very good evening to you, and thank you very much for watching and listening as well at the same time. Yes, that has ended it very, very much in a style that, of course, is a little bit on the weird side, but yeah, anyway, that's another thing altogether. Of course, hello to Kay Payne, tuned in right now here, wherever you are tuned in, and please stay with us. Of course, we will go through some of these kind of words in just a moment here, but of course, you're waiting to find out, of course, how much the price has gone up from the Beresnevan single to Cambridge, which we talked about on the other side of the two tracks back to back there. And I would say, yes, a bit like a train station, isn't it? Or a train running back to back. But, of course, the discounted tickets we spoke about, of course, on the other ticket was £7.95, ladies and gentlemen. And this is how much it's gone up from that price here that I'm going to tell you now, which is actually a signed version here, which you can see here. Can you see that? If I show you as best as I can here, you can see it's signed, which means we can't use it again. And of course it's an adult standard class, £8.40, so 45p from the recent £7.95 it's leaped up from. So just to remind you that these tickets will go up from time to time, so that's why it's very, very sort of a key thing to keep your tickets for the future reference, so you know how much it's actually gone up. And not only that, you know where you've travelled to, and you can actually prove that to whoever is concerned about that, to whom is concerned about wherever you go in the world. It could be a support worker, it could be just a general person that you want to prove where you've been, to, you know, prove to them you're not lying, that you have actually been to these places. So that's the full proof that you need on that. Right, okay, so yeah, I'm just going to wrap this up very, very shortly here. And if you do miss anything here, rest assured, of course, you have got the replay at all times to tune in to us at any one given time. So thank you very much indeed for sticking by us here. At least we've had 9 views and people have watched, of course, for 9 minutes. It's quite extraordinary. We even had one person to say hello to in the chat here. And thank you, Kay Payne, for that. And, of course, that's Christian Payne, by the way. Nice warm evening. Absolutely. It is now, since the, I would say, the storm has disappeared from our very, very eyes. Okay, yeah, it was up and down storm earlier today, and of course you can see some of that storm here from the area of Haverhill, Suffolk, on the video channel, and you can see it as and when you like. Alright, okay, it's time to read you this here, and I would like to thank you all so much for watching tonight. It's been a short version tonight, and I thought I'd just sort of close it up by saying a huge thank you very much for watching, for those people who have stuck by and watched the channel all night tonight. And of course we have more people on our lives and sometimes on our, I would say, special lives as well, that we do on our walkarounds, depending on where we go. We have more when we are in, say, like in places like seaside resorts. For some reason, I don't know what, especially the popular ones like Great Yarmouth and things like that. But yeah, we do hope to be back to Great Yarmouth soon, and we will be doing another possible live there from a unusual part of Great Yarmouth, which we usually do, because other videographers miss out on it a lot of times, and they tend to stay and stick to the interesting side. Well, we do interesting as well, but of course we do the areas that people do not see and forget that is definitely something that does exist. So, yeah, that's what we do here. A variety of everything here. We're not just about walking around towns and cities. We are about shows as well. The Coronation tomorrow, not Coronation Street, but Coronation is on tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. in the morning, if we can wake up that time. Hopefully the weather will be better than it has been today, so that we can get downtown earlier and come back in time for it. We'll see on that. But yeah, I'm going to leave this with you. Hopefully I can read it to the best of my ability. It comes from the UCB Word for Today, and of course they are a radio station that's worth mentioning out there. You can listen to Christian kind of music and all that kind of thing, a bit like Christian radio, if you've heard of that, which is on Freeview. So yeah, the title says they'll come back to it. Hopefully we get that with, of course, people viewing to us as well. But nobody seems to be doing that tonight. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. Hopefully we'll get some people tuning in on the replay and giving us a thumbs up on that. You can still watch on replay at any time. If you're watching on replay, massive hello to you and thank you so much for catching up with us. So direct your children onto the right path. When they get older, they will not leave it. Of course, they will come back to it. Of course, when your child begins to toddle and talk, plant God's word deep into your heart. That doesn't guarantee they will go astray. Many of us get it wrong before we finally get it right. Just make sure they know where the right path is. Picture the salmon being spawned in the river Severn. Then it matures. It swims downstream and begins its long migration to the North Atlantic. The salmon swims for thousands of miles. Then, as if by command, it begins a long journey back to its place of spawning. And it not only locates the spot where it entered the ocean, but the estuary, the river, and the exact inlet from when it had been released. In one documentary story, a salmon worked his way up a drain and pushed it through a hefty screened lid atop a 3-foot vertical pipe and ended up in the same tank where it was hatched. Unique markings on its fin confirm this. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave it. The scripture means, give your children a taste of things of God when they are young, and when they grow older, the world won't satisfy their taste, and they will return to their spiritual roots. Faithfully do your part, and trust God to do this. Your part now is to instruct, love, and pray for them. God's part is to draw them back, and He will, for He loves them more than you do. So hopefully you got the gist of that, and of course the subject is they will come back to it. I thought they was talking about people on the chat. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. Thank you so much, everybody. I would like to leave you with one last, of course, relaxation kind of music. Let's see if I can find it for you. It's not that one. Is it this one?
Energy.
No, it's not energy. Yeah. Okay. For 4 minutes, I'm going to sort of deep relaxation you if you do enjoy this kind of music. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching. It's been incredibly difficult to present the show like this because it's unlimited kind of words. It's not scripted. It's just completely off my mind. And, of course, there is a kind of format where we do talk about sort of a various kind of things. And we are live. Of course, none of this is scripted. So, of course, we do appreciate your enjoyment in watching what we do here. We thank you so much. I don't think I've seen any moderator here tonight, but of course, maybe they were watching on, of course, the replay and check in from time to time. They will check in like a security camera. I'm sure that is the case. But, of course, from myself here, Nickalini Orange, as in the stage name for this year of 2023 and May, which is Friday the 5th of May 2023, 37 minutes past 10 p.m, 22:37 in 24-hour clock mode. From myself here, we wish you a very merry rest of the weekend. It's not Merry Christmas yet, but of course it's merry, of course, weekend. Merry happy weekend to you all, and of course enjoy the rest of your weekend wherever you may be. So as we try and deep relax you towards the end of the program here, we thank you so much for, of course, your company tonight. Even if it's just a few people, we just really enjoy your reactions towards us, your thumbs up, and of course, even if it's just only one comment tonight, which has been dedicated to Kay Payne, the star of the show tonight. It's got to be him. And of course we thank him for actually leaving us a comment saying what a lovely evening it is, because the weather has stormed it over. Yes, it's all gone quiet now and gone very dark as well. But what I would say, I'm just talking about weather here. But would say is Christian Payne from, of course, Watford area. We do appreciate you tuning in, like many others might have been tuning in today, but too shy to leave us a comment. But hopefully they may do get so influenced by what we do here tonight. And remember this day for the rest of your life, and go up and grab it with both hands. And hopefully we'll see you next time. And of course, yes, just to remember all the people that you have met today, may it bring it closer to you. Coming from a hymn that was written by Harrison Oxley, which actually performed on the organ of St Edmundsbury Cathedral back in the day of the 90s. So, of course, in faith we pray, which is another sort of words that he used, and that the work we have met today, and of course the people that we have met today, may it bring it closer to you. In faith we pray. Those are the lovely words that I remember from the evening listening hymn, basically. And if you want to play it, if you are an organist, then it's something that you might, of course, want to do in the future, or any time actually. So as we just remember all those people that we have met and of course spoken to today, just the joy and wonder it brings to you and the energy that we bring to you as my voice goes with you. As you fill your head with the music at the same time, and you feel like you're listening to sea air waves as well as if you're on a holiday. Just get that great, bold feeling now. And of course, yes, we relax you on that note right now. Thank you so much for listening to that, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully you'll see us next time, only on Touring With Us. Thank you, and God bless to you all. Have yourself a safe and lovely weekend. Bye for now. Good night.